buzz cut. Bleak, and cradled to the cesspool. I was taken for a buggy ride with the paper cord that you did a buttonhole. Sinking to a side with the arc lamp. While overcoat, vibrating test too. Reaper silhouette in the web fall. Pour myself a nightcap, flood laughter. Streaking to the grass at the flubbery. Digging the ditch with the bank clerk. Big clientele, glass bleak ears prick. Grit line between lip as a souvenir. Lure by your scamp of blue crab grip lord. Gut bucket kitten, boodle plucked the dance sack. Angelica bowl, there was feather drain. Golden rod, drug sleep, in the chill more. Bashful movement, that symbolic act. Almighty roll, half-berry biopic. The starboard ball's therapeutic touch. Man with his stranglehold and I smoke quaint. Throw replica, queer bird, point blank. Roll into a ravine for this and that. But what rapture was I wounded mortally? It blared out the loudspeaker, own body crush. Everyone was displeased, rapidly spoke in the gut triple screenplay. Loaded sword with the thumb mark vein. Downpour edging close to the ledge. Favorite raw human beats at its high pitch. Muscle dribbles at the pace of set. What your eye reflected was subdued. Cultivated orchard ripping full refresh. A radical touch in a locked enclosure. Open air theater, buried the hillside. Hollow face crippled with the bench with the Chris fret. Hollow face crippled with the bench with the Chris fret. Hollow face crippled with the... Lobby damned overboard with him. Stagger back a few paces, black powder flat. I would take to the wicked cut, me a trap. Without exchanging a word with the changeling. Gruesome nature with the case, Mademoiselle X. Remote viewing going down with my set. I'm just a hospital discharge. Weather beat inside, phobia, yellow water sweat. Through lamp oil or human remains. Twin stranger like a bald spot on the scalp. Reanimated and snatched up, narrow misfire, glowing pale green. Attracted by the surface like a swarm of winged insect. Felt the blow of a bamboo sword. Closed casket, coping mechanism black. Hit my lower half all the way back home. Happiness, the treble lukewarm. Crimson lunchbox that was gleaming wet from a stream that flows across a plain with a speed that no eye can comprehend. Couple more vacant stares from a caretaker. Order fencing, unexplained couplets. Violated principle, slow moving exhaust. Visions of swirling currents. Landing party thread barrel the main track. Sulfuric scum mirroring facets. Sat down clumsily, contagious, abbreviated, polychromatic. Bedroom mirror swirl. Stay of execution, trough and crest. Wave, oarsman in a rowboat called the dog. Piss, true silver mildew discreetly collected. The head that heals and wounds was on job. Observing inappropriate muscle in. Came most disturbing fact after the autopsy. Were injuries inflicted after I was killed. Posing as a mountain range eruption with the rumors came. With the rumors came. The most disturbing fact after the autopsy. Were injuries inflicted after I was killed. Flesh limitation, vertical descent. Willy-nilly bite mark on the forearm. Hellboard stigmata on the instep. Excess stomach flipping morbid black fade. Vertebrae with the wing outstretched. Lyric puppet rendered team death knell. Man torn to pieces in the mirror painting. Owl has a with the magic pit of vote. With apple core exposed and we glanced up. Devils rushing up a steep flight of step. Murdered love rifle with the slight breed. On number gray, purple fleck with white. Ongoing crusade, the guard was most pleased. Like an Oswald, fabric in the ashram. Traveled to the sky world, came out the lower realm. like a distant scream long drawn. Allegedly haunted the chateau. Dutch man of war lost off the cape. When ship brought the ground to St. North, last port of call, walked the upstairs hall. Banished at the sound of a holy name. Neglected to leave my cloak to the poor. Contacted by a medium, feeling to be a watch. I was first mistaken for the living. Last port of call, swearing at the wed. Addressing letters to persons lost since that. Until alone, upsy daisy on the top mat. Warm hand clasped up a pell-mell bellhop. Tendons flayed on bills like galoos. Wolf lead, milk white, overgrown bug. Fly bitten, now it's weighted pitchforks. The murder machine, mangled dust, landslide. Voted off for wigs at the dog heap. Shook the cobwebs off an Oregon. Hot magma with the frozen vomit vacuum. Electrical crackle of a powerful fleet. Ring finger tugging through the seatbelt. Swirled around like a corkscrew. Caucus tear like a fancy wedding cake. Dostoevsky squirm with the water broke. Narcotic vapor, sea voyage, etc. Extreme caution, national pride. A boiling cauldron of slime and rat. Marooned in the moonstruck, blue violet full flight. In my bureau I penned the musical score. In my bureau I penned the musical score. Pounded snakes give me heartburn. Cemetery picnic deluxe. Business been dead at the parlor operatic. Stench of blood covered me like a lion cub. Gruesome nature with decayed state of the art. Object of affection, health for burial. Don't think me fanciful, more like human flotsam. A broadening gap, splashed in sawboard. Knees knocked together with the clatter. Present of you feel conscious, particular fancy food with slat on. Pulled off with dead trails still attached. Someone did the previous life, it's like deities made it. Ambrose West, carved out an illness from a public statue. Involved in a little habit last night. Bodily fluid exchange, now I'm walking upright. My valuable work, I'm morbid growth. Lovely figure of the bus conductor. Stripped to the waist, to the oxygen bag. We'll go fast to the XL multiverse. Paraclepic sisters hit the dignified shoulder. The heavy brass handles of authority plan under comfortable suspicion. After the collision, drifting in the Arctic, frozen blueprints on the decks of the dredge. Large icebergs sighted nearby. I'm unequipped to salvage this set. Water squirt of the dahlia, dreams of guns. A tongue visible between fangs, decorate the wall with the noxious exhaust. Disembodied voice mock, hitting his path. Tightrope walker, falling skull split. Length of a testable track, for a halo, camera artifact. Hooks of a proof, hidden mother photography. Urine brine, ring like bruise from a vertical smoke streak. From a 5-4 like a dog in peacetime. Hypothetic capacity, my back into the nap. Involuntary muscles of internal organs twitch. Walked out on the terrace, through an ink bottle. Soaked the ghost at the head of the procession. Cargo loaded, along the water's edge. Grief for this for a live body. But I'm bound to a pillar with the rope. Bound to a pillar with the rope. Your throat slit might belong in the pie shop. Fake the footprint wherever the eyes glow. Search grip, chain clay, driving the hearse coach. It's like I'm walking this soft mud. Album sighted, wandered down a migration route. Now I'm covered in the popular press. Grew for ill fortune, hundreds of priests. Sink to the bottom but dysfunctional overlap. Sensation of floating, appropriate fear response. Threat activated, airway blockage. Many come to calls, someone tried the door. Pair of stockings in the heat buried under barges. Pupils unblinking, paint clogged the keyhole. Driven in the corners, a tiny note of discord. Immortal delight, a symmetrical rendezvous. Healthy looking lovers, a neurotic form attack. Artificial guilt outfit, in the car buzz. Half a beehive on the a hygienic bed. Knee deep in the gaping crater, dying wholesale. Hibernating, half asleep along the breakwater. With a stretcher made of a window shutter. Torso curves lurked in the empty space in the midst of an air raid. Rate of my blood flow, spun blindfolded with an exclamation mark. Glory in the heavens brought through a hall. I stared at the ground, I seemed to be soaking. Pulled the covers up to my neck. No time for flower viewing obscene poses. Now erase the propaganda leaflet. Suggestive illusions were flashing in sunlight. Memory implant, smuggled through customs. Tumbled and nodded, waiting up the creek. I emerged bleeding from a shadowy overarch, wits and oozing like in a tidal drowning. The high officials had lowered them gently, repeated in a sing-song, idiotic formula. I'm leaving the warm land, chopped in the lakes. The cracked glass bubble of the cockpit. Splash patterns and the labor pains. Ultimate extravagance severed at the fall. When uniforms pierced by a bullet, my ship docked and the anchor clumped. Forever waving wings splatter my epaulets. Forever waving wings splatter my epaulets.
That on the death of its father, the phoenix embalms the body in an egg made of myrrh. You like that?
Showing about the length of one neck to get a heads up. Lab lock, lesson week, convivial death clock. Best of luck, Capricorns and all the best I'm at. Lockstep, whip to 10, when I watch 5. Bloated vultures land to peck a windpipe. I like to hear the pop with my fist clash. All too worthless like an ornamental hairpin. Rollicking, subjugated, fat lips, skin grab. The horror fiction left you gutted but well read. Stare again, flood puddle purview. Hobble by a bobble in a gargoyle footrest. Heard the commotion in the miasmatic region. Using a weather vane for a violin ball. Struck a chord with him. Stretched out in my coffin to make plots thinking. A bass squeak from a trombone spin valve. Ashes in the sister, bounced off a baseboard. The classic symbols, regurgitated plum pin.
Might try and hide, hoping they find Jack will stretch the uptight just right. Make them flexible, you gon' be alright. Just drink that masculine, human brains on the table, and I think that's vegetables. It's all words and twist them, then I bake that bread. So salt piranhas north for facing, train that vessel. Everyone's better than everyone, well, ain't that special? Head severed, red metal, bet settled, that's metal.
Recordings in the mornings when the sun is swarming. I can rhyme to the beat of the thunderstorm. Gin and juice with the troops on Air France shuttle. Walking my dogs, wearing my muzzle. Hustle dreams, money streams, all work, no play. My mind is the vacation, I pick my place. Global is my nombre, I'm banging for the bonus. I bring it in the moment and sang it at the pulpit. Canto pa los santos, sinners and saints. No excuses, always did it again. Drawing in the dark with the candle wax. Old school dude who don't travel back. Short-tempered but the Lord Shepherd. Caught Jester and George Jetson. Stay tuned to the stain proof. Don't do what they do. Victor de Jesus.
Might try and hide, hoping they find Jack will stretch the uptight just right. Make them flexible, you gon' be alright. Just drink that masculine, human brains on the table, and I think that's vegetables. It's all words and twist them, then I bake that bread. So salt piranhas north for facing, train that vessel. Everyone's better than everyone, well, ain't that special? Head severed, red metal, bet settled, that's metal.
Softened perspectives carved in the crust of your thoughts. Sheltered indigo's popping the sound of sights. Metallic voice for the puzzle box. Plucked the one from any collapse under the web of a cowlick. The strain that led the end of days was lost but watched with confidence. Jingle with the damaged keys. Played the notes of bones with strings. Cipher the post from where the veins compose or run harmonic screams. I claim the lack nobility. Jerks to the jewels I stole from pompous kings. Stripped and breeding beggar and tossed his needs into a pit of flames. Observing the pain of calculating acceptance of the grip that broke. Releasing endorphins in my addiction to watch recovery of my own. To play a god for agnostics. Your core belief is to become a a clone of the image you're attracted to. Don't blame it on the invisible hoax. Reset it as ordered, be you with a second playthrough. The labyrinth has no borders, it's a circle you feel your way through. Walk the fake and build it real, just keep it in the playfield. Accept the new familiar, forget the path to leave the old you. Be a silent riddle hidden in a completed Rubik's stupendous. Under a hexagonal complex, your life was to be your death.
From the body of the nest is born a little worm, which becomes the phoenix.
Napalm wingspan.
I'ma stay patient like a killed it with the backseat. Dumb ghost war, ended with the wet splash. Flip to the last Polaroid, waterlogged. Magpies flocking in my breast pocket, floating up like jellyfish menthol. I'ma storm the citadel, colossal kraken in a cup. Plane crash, replaced by a lookalike. Known to stalk about with a hitchhike. Glossy leather fabrics, gushed onto rubber gloves, vanished in the motel room with the leap. Jumped in the way of a passing carriage. Inspector cloud mode, the prey to senses. Seized with violent fists, it's quite a commotion. Issued ammunition in order to shoot. It's based on real events. The petty dreadful reportedly enlarged. Clambered over rooftops, riding accident. Heavy snowfall, hoof-like marks and detective exploits. Gentleman named for a fatal shooting, unleashed the flood of reports. Apocalypse Hydra net, inflict a thigh wound. My hindquarters in a nest of myrrh. Navel gazing in a capsized clipper. Miniature bottle vessel. Otherworld occurrence in high beams. Magnifying glass the size of a child's coffin. Low-hanging branch on the front lawn. Final resting place on the jaw tightens. The song was cut off from the rise of a sleeping chest. I hug myself for wood, splats on the table with wine gold, maybe a concussion, a humorless laugh. Whisper conversations stop like chalk smudge. It's word pride from a caller, I was flat broke. Church bell chime like a dog snapping. Seated side by side on a sofa. Curtains fell with the guardians heave ho. Meaningless giggle with his tweaks and dry tears. Made my call look condolence, he was already ass-earned. Backgammon born, fresh as a cold bath. Arrow shaft sunk in the armpit, with cascades of lace at the wrist. Like the nape of a swan's neck. Like the nape of a swan's neck.